Hello and welcome back to the Little Scale Cars YouTube channel. Today in the review box we have the Lancia Statos Rally car, winner of the 1977 Monte Carlo Rally. This is a new casting from MiniGT, and this is the first rally edition deco, I guess, that I have picked up. And let's go ahead and take a deep dive into this and see if this one is worth adding to your collection. Let's start by taking a closer look at our casting. So first things first, you'll notice that the proportions are really nice for the Lancia Statos. And one thing you'll see later on when we do some size comparisons is that this thing is absolutely tiny, which makes me feel like it definitely is true 1/64th scale, which would fit in line with the MiniGT brand pretty well. Getting into that, the only thing on the body that I can tell is plastic, other than the obvious, like the lights and mirrors and such, is this roll hoop thingy. I'm not sure what this actually is. I think this is plastic, but the rest of the body is metal from what I can tell. So despite being small, we do kind of have some good heft to it. It feels good. So some of our cast details are this front pit up here, this mesh kind of material is casted in there. It does have texturing. We have our wheel well areas here, all casted in. The body lines where you'd want them to be. This bit here, which I believe also is possibly plastic, that also has the detail in there. Our inserts are, our headlights are inserts, and then on the back, taillights are inserts, and then the exhaust here as well. We see here we've got some detailing in there that's all been casted in. So as far as our casted in details, we don't have a whole lot just because this car itself is relatively plain. It is a little bit hard to see, but there is a little bit of a roof scoop up here, I'm assuming. It just looks fantastic though. The real highlight though is our next category. So our paint and deco. This livery is supposed to be the 1977 Monte Carlo Rally race winner, and from the pictures I've seen, it's pretty much perfect. All of this sponsoring detail, I mean, I'm not even going to go over all of the sponsors, but you can see them. I can't pronounce some of them, but Pirelli is there. We've got a few. We've got the HF here. The Italian flag is up there. We even have up front, we've got our Monte Carlo Rally. On this side, again, all the sponsors present. We have, I'm assuming, the driver and the navigator, or whatever it's called in Rally. I'm assuming that's their names there. I haven't actually looked that up. We have Rome here. We've got something on the rear spoiler section as well. Not 100% sure what that is, but it's another sponsor or something, I'm supposing. On the back, we do have our Lancia, the main sponsor. We've got a license plate looking thing. And then up front, we do have our little tiny Lancia logos written out there as well. So moving on to our details. Moving from back to front, our little grille section here does have the meshing in there, and it looks really nice. Our headlights are an insert, and they are really nice. There's even little lines that you can see on the plastic. Might be able to hear the texturing on those as I rub over them. That's fantastic. As we make our way back, we only have one mirror, which is apparently accurate to the real car, which is pretty interesting. We have our windshield wiper here. Onto our back, we have our taillights, which appear to be inserts again. They look absolutely fantastic. And then we have our exhaust, which we noted earlier, which is an insert. We even have these like mud flap kind of things, and they are made of rubber, so they can move, and they don't feel, they feel durable. They don't feel chintzy or fragile at all. It's really cool detail to add in. Even our base is highly detailed. This is one of the most detailed bases on a MiniGT that I have. Most of my MiniGTs are modern hypercars where it's going to be pretty flat on the bottom. And then we have even very nice texturing on the tire tread itself. So just overall, just kind of mind-blowing in the detailing level. For our roll test, this is a Mini GT, so it does roll, and it does roll pretty nicely, although not as good as other Mini GTs. For our pros and cons category, our biggest pro that I think is the livery, which is almost spot on to the real-life car. And a few other brands, I think Tomica has done this car casting in this livery as well, but I don't think that theirs replicates it nearly as closely. So absolutely fantastic job with the deco work on this one. Normally I go on and on about the actual details, whereas this time it was more the painted and deco details that I went on about. And it is really nice, especially when you factor in our other pro, which is that this is $12. So this is the same price as the kind of going rate for most Mini GTs, and for the what you get, this is just mind-blowingly amazing. For our cons category, I honestly inspected this thing for about 10 minutes solid and could not come up with any cons. I even went to the bottom to see if there was an odd screw hole, and there isn't even a screw hole in the back section here that could cause something to be unsightly. I'm not sure exactly how they did that, but they did it, and it's fantastic. So yeah, the only even minor things I could nitpick at is there are a handful of spots about right here under this wheel well, and then right here on the paintwork, there's little teeny blips of extra little paint that is so small, I probably can't even pick it up on the camera. I'm not even going to include that in a con because it's so small and you can't see it unless you're just inspecting it with a fine-tooth comb. And for some quick size comparisons, here we have it next to some other Stratus castings you might have in your collection, with the Hot Wheels Standard Stratus and the Hot Wheels Stratus Group 5. And here we have it next to some other iconic racers you might have in your collection, with the Lancia Delta Integrale and the recently reviewed Ford Escort RS 2000. So with all that, it is now time to give my final thoughts. So overall, I'm actually going to give this one a 9.8 out of 10, verging on that 9.9 out of 10. This is basically perfect in every way. I think if you're a fan of just motorsports or cars in general, this is really something you want. I think if you're a fan of iconic race cars, it needs to be in your collection. If you're a fan of rally racing, it needs to be in your collection. Especially when it's only $12. I mentioned that Tomica has a version of this car out as well, and theirs is about $12 in the United States as well. Sometimes even more. It's a Tomica Premium, so it can easily go to 15, 20 bucks. So you really cannot go wrong with this thing. This thing is just fantastic. So, is this something I think that you should add to your collection? Absolutely. This is one of the surprising highlights, I would say, of my collection. Something I was excited for, but not necessarily something I was really, really excited to add to my collection. But when it got here, I just am thoroughly impressed with it. And that's all I have for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe if you are new, and go ahead and leave a comment down below telling me what your thoughts are on this particular model, and I will see you in the next video.